And there are some musicians doing porn now, you know what I mean? So
That is true.
Yeah.
yeah, Franz.
I've done stuff with him.
You have done stuff with him?
He's fun. He's great. Like,
Really?
for an amateur, he knows what he's doing, so.
Nice.
And he's a sweetheart, too.
Hey, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you have any comments or suggestions, hit us up at worshipandtributenerd@gmail.com. And don't forget to mash the like button and the bell, so every time we post a video, it'll notify you. This week on the show, we get nerdy with adult film star Jessie Lee.
Worship and Tribute Nerd.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Michael, aka Rickshaw, and this is Worship and Tribute Nerd, the channel where metal dudes nerd out.
Thank you. That was good.
Today on the show, we have Jessie Lee. Say hi, Jessie.
Oh, hey.
Also with us is my co-host, Fuzz.
Hello.
Jessie Lee, how are you doing?
I am fantastic today.
That is awesome. And I see that we both got our Christmas decor behind us. This isn't even my house. This is Fuzz's house.
It's totally my house.
Yeah, I brought the green screen and we were gonna set it all up. I was like, let's just go with the Christmas look, you know? People will appreciate that.
The rest of my apartment is pretty fucking decked out for Christmas.
For real?
Do you go all out? Do you go ham at Christmas?
Yeah, everything is Christmassy. Everything. Like,
What did you
Christmas lights inside.
Did you take down all the October decorations and put up the Christmas ones?
Yes.
Yeah. No one decorates for Thanksgiving, you know what I mean?
No, you don't. You just leave the pumpkins out.
So the way it is in Canada, the Canadian Thanksgiving was October 12th. So what they do is they decorate they do Thanksgiving before Halloween. So they do like the pumpkins, and then for Thanksgiving, and then they turn around where they're the jack-o'-lanterns.
Oh, nice. So then that way they're not wasting a bunch of pumpkins, you know what I mean? And there's not a bunch of shriveled up pumpkin ball sacks everywhere all for Thanksgiving. You know what I'm talking about, when it gets all shriveled and then...
Yeah.
Yeah, I know all about that.
But anyways, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah.
And, we're going to talk a little bit about your job and what you do and how fun that is. Is it fun, first of all?
I mean, yeah. So it's a real job.
Right.
Any real job you love, you're like, oh, this is really good to work here. I love working here. And then you have that one bad day. You're like, God damn it, where your one coworker is just just fucking off and making you do more work.
Right.
It's kind of like also where sometimes I have a really good scene, and then other days I'm like, oh, you shoot me. So
I honestly don't even think about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Having to work with someone shitty or
okay, think of it like this. Okay, say that you go to a bar and you bring home, hypothetically.
Right.
You go to a bar, you bring home super hot girls all the time, and it's really great sex. And then one day you bring home a super hot girl and she's awful in bed.
Yeah.
But you want to be nice, so you can't tell her that it's awful.
Right.
So that's kind of porn too. Super hot. That's really good, and then some days it's awful.
Just the worst.
So there's really people that work in the adult industry and they bang real bad.
Is that even a thing?
I've had guys can't keep it up.
Okay.
So I've had that. That sucks. There's a lot of faking it in those scenes.
Right.
But they look good. They're
Right.
pro.
Do you ever have to chill for a minute and work it?
Really, really, really bad kissers, but you make it work. It happens.
Exactly. We all have our days where we go to work and we're like, God, I'm just not feeling it today.
Just a bad kisser.
Sometimes guys that smell like they've been working out at the gym, so you go to
right.
So the ball sack isn't as fresh as most guys.
That's so f***ed up.
Yeah.
That's so f***ed up. That's your job. Why would you not clean up? Come on. What the f*** is that about?
Not my ball sack.
No, I know, but like that just blows my mind. Like,
Right.
I don't understand it. If I was in that business, I would
Yeah.
totally make sure I was clean. Jesus.
I mean, I work at a
I don't
bar.
know anything about cleaning stuff up. You know,
Yeah,
I don't know. Some girls aren't very don't smell good either. Some girls, not all,
Right.
but some girls they don't know how to clean themselves up, and they
Right.
they
Well,
were taught it as a girl, as a young girl.
I mean, I work at a bar, and I still make it a point to shower every time I go in, just because people are
Right.
going to be giving me money. I guess it's different when you're behind a screen and you're just watching it. People don't think about the smell unless we come out with the 4D sex scenes to where you're like, oh, these actors didn't shower up before the scene.
It's terrible.
But also, I was thinking about this the other day. Musicians and people in the adult industry, I guess it's comparable. You know what I mean? You meet people that are doing the same thing as you, and sometimes you're like, hey, let's work together. Is that kind of the way it works with what you do? You're like, hey, what's up? You do the same thing as me.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends. I mean, a lot of times when I do that, it's making my own content that I have to sell myself, put on my many vids and stuff like that, or my OnlyFans. I mean, I'll only work with certain people because there's a certain type of guy that I sell, or that sells a lot. So, so if it's a guy with a big name, or a guy who fits the type of guy that I make money off of, I will totally be like, hey, let's work out, let's hook up, let's hang out, let's make some porn. So
For sure.
I think that's it. You'll be going to test, and you're like, oh, hey, how are you? I haven't seen you in so long. Hey, are you free this week? Let's film some content. So yeah. So that's our way of a very professional way of saying I want to have sex with you.
Right. And it's a lot more to the point than musicians, because sometimes musicians are like, hey, let's work together, and they're like, oh, well, now we're together, what are we supposed to do? Are we making a song? You do rap and I do metal, what are we doing?
Rap metal.
And then you end up doing it with them, you
Right.
know what I mean? You're like, you do rap, let's do it.
But so is it
They can do genre, it's cool.
So do you have a manager that books your stuff, or are you just straight booking your stuff by yourself? Do you just take care of it yourself, or do you pay someone to kind of help you, figure your shit out?
So all of my professional fees for different companies, I have an agent, which is OC Modeling. They're one of the biggest names, and they're one of the best agents in porn. There's Spiegler, and then there's OC, which are the top two. But yeah, so they do all of my bookings for anything pro. I mean, anything that I sell myself, I just book myself. But I've always booked the same 5 guys, pretty much the same 5 guys. So it's it's easy. So hey, let's film some more stuff, And then I have for feature dancing, which doesn't really happen anymore. I have an agent for that also.
Things have gotten pretty weird with the pandemic, and I feel for cam models and people in the industry, I feel there are things that have gotten better. You know what I mean?
Everyone, during the pandemic, when the pandemic first started, everyone's losing their shit. Oh, what am I gonna do about money? But the thing is, everyone's just bored at home with nothing to do. And they're getting that whatever money from unemployment. So oh, let's all buy some porn. So sex workers were thriving. So it's pretty great. I mean, I started making more money once the pandemic happened.
Right.
As I started going back to work, I started my income was declining a little bit. So then I just had to work harder and figure out new angles to make more money and whatnot, and work fucking harder. Fucking hard.
Fucking harder. Well, it's certainly, I'm glad that there are certain people making more money, when it comes
Right.
to the pandemic, because musicians, yeah, but for musicians, it's fucking a kick in the sack, you know what I mean? And
It's horrible.
I know a lot of musicians are doing merch and whatnot.
yeah, that's true. And there are some musicians doing porn now, you know what I mean? So
That is true.
Yeah,
yeah, Franz,
I've
dude.
done stuff with him.
you have done stuff with him?
He's fine. He's great.
Really?
For an amateur, he knows what he's doing. So
Nice.
And he's a sweetheart too.
I love him so much. My friend was like, right, so I have to ask you a question. I don't know if you're going to be offended by this or not. I was like, what? She's like, is like Franz as obnoxious in person as he is online? I was like, no. I was like, Franz is like the most chill dude ever. He's like super fucking cool. So yeah.
Yeah. I've known Franz for a long time, and it's just funny to like, know him before Attila even got big, and then it's funny to like watch, his old school like MTV made thing, and then to see where he went, from there is like funny to watch.
I had no idea.
Oh no, yeah.
And he wore Attila shirts the entire time, if I'm not mistaken.
And he was on MTV Made when he wanted to be a male model.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Kind of now though, because he's OnlyFans.
Right.
Yeah, he like, showed me his like numbers in OnlyFans. Like holy shit! Because we're like, he came to Hollywood and he filmed with like me, and he filmed with Kenzie Reeves and like somebody else. I forget which other porn star I worked with. But yeah, like he got a room at the W, and we like filmed a bunch of content. And we like then he like took me out to dinner afterwards. So like, this is great. This is awesome. Yeah.
Hell yeah, I wish some of us other musicians had such a break, you know what I mean?
Well, he was doing this before the pandemic too. Like he was doing his OnlyFans beforehand. So
Right.
now with the pandemic happening, with like not being able to tour, he can now concentrate more on his OnlyFans. So he's making a killing. Yeah. Plus he's doing Stay Thick. So
yeah.
That brand is killing it. Dude's a genius. Like straight up just a genius.
Yeah.
So smart.
It's things like that though that make me so, regretful on like, hey, what did I do when I was off tour? Oh, I sat around and allegedly did drugs and allegedly
my bad.
Allegedly.
Oh no, we have to use it on here.
Right.
And it's all alleged on this show because, we don't want anyone to complain about it.
We live in Texas, so it's like, if the right person's watching.
We smoked weed, allegedly.
It's alleged, you can't prove anything. But anyways, like, so let's get into the nerdy shit, We're on a pandemic. I know that you could still work during the pandemic, but since the pandemic, what have you done to keep your mind right? As far as movies, as far as hobbies, anything like that. What do you do to nerd out?
So I like to do this thing called binging on Netflix. Like I'll find like a series and I'll like, there's like 11 series. There's like 11 like seasons. Okay, and I'll like watch it in like 3 weeks.
Yeah. Oh no.
I watched all Lucifer within like I think 2 weeks.
Nice. Wow. That's pretty big.
So
one.
good. I love that show. I was so like emotionally invested in the show. I was like, what? Yeah, it's so good.
It's so sad whenever you finish something with like 5+ seasons, and then you're like, what do I do? You feel like you lost a friend.
Yeah, they're like filming one more season, and like I have a lot of friends who are magicians, so they have one episode where it's like at the Magic Castle, and some of my like magician friends are like in the fucking episode. I was like, what?
Oh yeah,
that's so amazing.
When I was in LA, I ended up finding somebody that got me into Magic Castle, and it was so amazing. I love it there.
My best friend Frankie, he's like one of the best magicians ever. He's at House of Cards in Nashville right now. So yeah, so he's the one I usually go to the Magic Castle with, or I go to with my friend Crow, who lives like right down the street from me. I used to date a magician, so that's the most nerdy thing ever.
Nice. But that shit is cool.
It's so cool. I wish I was cool enough to do magic, and I really mean it. That's not sarcastic. I really wish I was cool enough to do magic.
Yeah, Fuzz, I think Fuzz, didn't you go to, when Iwabo did the premiere for our movie, like in LA, didn't you come out to that?
North Hollywood, yeah.
I met you. When Mike told me we were doing this, I was like, I'm pretty sure I met her. And I was like, I don't remember because there were drugs involved, but I'm pretty sure I met her and I could not put my finger on it. And then I looked you up and was like, oh my God, I did.
I've met so many people over the years that I just like forget. And then I have to be like reminded, like not just a little bit of reminder, like, oh, we did this, and this together. Oh my God, right.
Yeah. Well, there's times where like, especially with touring and all sorts of stuff, like every time you meet someone, you 3 names leave your head, and then you realize, oh, I've met you before, and I just kicked out 3 names in my head to re-meet you. You know what I mean? So it's just like you lose your mind learning people's names and shit.
I only retain so many memories.
Right, exactly. Like, people are like, hey, you remember when we met and we hung out and I bought you a beer and we, like, talked about our whole lives? I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I apologize 1,000 times. Please don't be mad at me.
So glad I never had to deal with that because my band sucked so much. So I never had to deal with anybody buying us drinks on tour. It was so awesome. Nobody talked to the guy with dreads, you know?
And it's like you were drunk then. They weren't buying you drinks, so you can't be like, oh, I was really drunk that night. Like, oh, but I didn't buy you a beer. Like,
I bet I got 1 or 2 sympathy beers from that guy that was like, I'm going to buy this guy a beer. He looks sad because they're broke.
You know, they're like, oh, Wabo, you want to drink? You get one too, but...
Oh, you hang out with Iwabo. I'm just going to give you guys a beer. You look sad.
Or they just don't know, you know what I mean? Fans are just like, someone in the band standing in a group. You're the band. You get a drink. And most of the time, the bass player's in there too. They're like, they don't even know I'm in the band. They're just like, you want a drink too, bud? I'm like, slapping the bass.
Dude, I was big, scary, and had dreads at that time. Nobody talked to me. Everybody hated me just because I looked homeless and scary.
Do you still talk to Jeremy Safford? I haven't seen him in so long.
He just put out his it's called Daughters of Darkness. You know, like he had that project where he was like filming like women in corpse paint.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
And in corpse paint, yeah, he put me in that book.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't bought the book, but you know, he sent me like little 8x10 like little glossy pictures of it.
Dude, corpse paint I'm glad it's still alive in the world. You know what I mean? Like
the world needs it.
It'll always be alive in the world.
Yeah.
It'll always.
I think that there needs to be more corpse paint involved in Christmas. You know what I mean?
Dude,
the colors just go together well.
Yes. You know what I mean? Let's do it. Next Christmas, we're doing it. We're doing it next Christmas.
A corpse paint, like, family photo
I'm
for
so
Christmas.
in. I would put corpse paint on my daughter in a heartbeat.
It's like that photo my friend just sent it to me. It's like a bunch of mall goths at the store at the mall with Santa.
Yeah.
And like it's like Santa with a bunch of like mall goths surrounded.
Dude, amazing. So what else did you binge besides Lucifer, or what other hobbies did you get into or are into anyways?
So I just finished watching I don't know how many seasons of Grace and Frankie. So Jane Fonda.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good. It's about like these women and their husbands are law partners, and then their husbands are actually having an affair with each other for 20 years behind their back, and then they both find out at the same time that their husbands were gay together, and their husbands want to marry each other. So it's like these like women that are like close to 80, like figuring out how to like deal with like being single, and it's really fucking funny. It's really good. So yeah,
sounds really
just
intense.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I told my mom about it. I was like, "Oh, Mom, I'm watching the show." She's like, "I love that show." I was like, "Of course you do." This was me showing that I'm actually 37. I'm like, fucking, like, I'm gonna watch 80-year-olds fucking date.
I'm 37 also. You look good for your
I was
age.
gonna say you do not look 37 at all. Like for real, that's not me just kissing your ass. Like you really do look like way younger than that.
Because I'm sober. I don't put any like shit into my body.
Right. You're completely straight edge?
I am.
What about
I
pot?
drink coffee.
Have you ever done pot?
Have you ever done pot? Come on, Dad.
I have done the pot years ago.
But
the marijuana.
See, pot's not a drug though.
Yeah, it's a mind-altering substance, so yes, it is a drug.
Oh, okay.
So
Sorry.
Alcohol is also a drug.
Right.
It's a mind-altering substance.
Okay.
I mean, the only time I take like anything that's like that's not, you know, anything that's kind of like that is like I take pain pills when I like get surgery or when I get tattooed. But
Right.
that's it. I mean, it's like I'm not trying to get high from, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, whenever I found like numbing cream for tattoos, like my life changed.
Oh,
you know
it
what
was
I mean?
amazing.
You also have to be careful because the numbing cream, if you put too much on, I mean, sometimes some tattooers don't like to use it because it like blurs out the line.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, I use it for my eyebrows. When I get my eyebrows tattooed, I put numbing cream on that. That's it. The rest of them, I just got my chest, like, redone. So, like, oh, I'm 37. Oh, I've had a chest piece for 20 years. Cool, I'll just get it fucking redone again. Or, not 20 years. 15 years? I'll just get it redone again. So I'm, like, getting my entire chest piece redone, and it fucking sucks.
Dude.
Yeah, it sucked the first time, man. What makes you want to do it the second time? That sounds horrible.
But looks so good.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. When I got mine done, I was like, yeah, I'm good. No, I need to get my stomach done. Like, nah, I'm just going to be fat and let it hang out. I'm not getting my stomach done. I'm a pussy. I can't handle it. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
It's fucking awful. The throat is awful. The chest is also awful. The collarbone is fucking so
Yes,
painful.
it's miserable.
Like, the back of the leg, like the knee ditches, the arm ditches.
Oh, yeah.
What else is really hurt? Yeah, I think that's the most painful on the stomach, like up here. I like that entire thing done. I'm like, oh, fuck my life. I'm like getting worse my stomach done, like in a few weeks. Because
Yeah, I remember getting my chest. I got my chest, and I was like, that's pretty bad. And then I got like the middle of my chest.
I was there for that. That was funny.
And it like went out onto around my nipples. And then I got my stomach, and so I was like, all that was terrible. There's no way there's worse than this. But then I got my kneecap done after that, and it was so much worse than like anything on my torso. I don't know if everyone else feels like that, but it just feels like just on your kneecap, it just feels like someone dragging a blade, like scraping you up. And then it throbbed for like 6 hours when I got home.
My ankle did that.
Yeah.
My ankle did that.
But yeah, now that I'm old though,
Smith told me that the kneecap is like the fucking worst.
oh dude, it was so bad. But it looks so good now.
All that matters, you know?
My calf was the worst. I was in tears with my calf. I mean that too.
With Belle?
With Belle, yeah.
He has Belle from Beauty and the Beast on his calf. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah. And I have Ninja Turtles on the front of that leg too.
And Ursula on my leg.
That's amazing.
Nice.
That is amazing. I love Disney. Do you love Disney?
I do.
That's awesome. That's so
What's your
badass.
favorite Disney movie?
Little Mermaid, obviously.
Obviously.
I disagree, but let's do a top 5 now that we're here nerding out.
I love about Little Mermaid. Okay, so she's just very adventurous and wild, and she doesn't give a fuck. Okay, she's like, you know what? I don't give a fuck. Oh, my dad's telling me not to do this. I'm gonna do that anyway. She like runs away, like does whatever she wants to fucking do. Okay,
Exactly.
and she falls in love. You know,
And
it
she
happens.
and she has a whole collection of doobobs. What are they called?
Yeah, she's a hoarder.
Right.
Are we all though?
Yes.
Well, at least
Every
if
person out there a fucking hoarder. So we're like, oh, I might need this 5 years down the line, and then you don't. You forget that you had it. You're like, what? I was like, why do I have this? Oh, I might need it though.
right, yeah. But the week that you throw it away is when you need it.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like right afterwards.
I hoard shoes.
Yeah. That's what I feel about clothing. I mean, I'm just like, I probably don't need this clothing. It's fine. I'll just buy something new when I need it. I mean, I have to like purge my fucking closets though. I have too much clothing. Too many t-shirts.
There's so many cool T-shirts though.
Right. And you can't get rid of.
But what if I need to like wear this band tee? I totally need it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
T-shirts I haven't worn in like 3 years. Like, oh, fuck you.
If you're a hoarder and you live underwater, does it ever start to smell? You think?
Ooh.
Like if you have
Probably.
gills, can you smell
I
underwater?
really don't know how I feel about that question. I'm uncomfortable.
I mean, it's an interesting question. I would like to ask a mermaid.
You know, now I'm really curious.
I love
And I'm
mermaids.
just fucking all night.
Hopefully somebody can answer that. Somebody send us the answer to that question. worshipatributenerd@gmail.com. Can you smell underwater if you have gills?
I don't even know. I really don't. I'm kind of embarrassed. I kind of want to be off here.
What's that?
Well, because it's like, I don't know, because you don't breathe through your nose, so you can't smell anything.
It's true.
Oh, I guess
She's
that's
got a
true.
point.
Well, shit.
Yeah, way to go. You fucked up.
Anyways, hey, top 5 Disney movies.
All right, number 2. Let's do it.
right now.
Okay, top 5. So the top 1 is Ariel, the Little Mermaid.
Right. Gotcha.
It's not Ariel, it's the Little Mermaid.
Right.
I really love after that is Moana.
Oh my god, yes! I love that movie so much.
It's Little Mermaid. Like, she's the new age Ariel. Like, she's just exactly, because she's curious and she doesn't give a fuck. Like, she's totally young.
Exactly.
And then after that, would probably be Aladdin.
Nice.
And then Beauty and the Beast. Sorry,
Okay.
your number 1 is number 4.
That's okay. I'm okay with it.
5. Lady and the Tramp.
Okay.
I actually don't like that movie.
You don't like
I agree with everything you just said except Lady and the Tramp.
See, I would fit a Lion King in there somewhere.
I'd go Lion King or...
God. Okay.
So you're replacing
Okay,
Lady
so
and the Tramp with Lion King.
Lady and the Tramp with Lion King.
Gotcha. I would say Lion King's number 1. And then I would...
I mean, dude, James Earl Jones is the shit.
Right.
Yeah, it should be number 1.
Thomas, that's all.
But I will say Lion King, number 2. I will say... Oh, Aladdin.
Aladdin's dope.
Then Little Mermaid. Then... What other ones did we talk about?
Jungle Book. Fucking... Princess and the Frog.
Anyways, we'll just do my top 3. Okay. Lion King, Aladdin, Little Mermaid, for sure.
That's so dope.
Okay.
What about you?
Oh, God. Beauty and the Beast, 1.
Oh, Beauty and the Beast. There you go.
I'm going to agree with you on Moana being number 2. I love Moana. It's underrated as a Disney movie. I feel like kids need to watch that shit because I feel that way about Beauty and the Beast because it teaches kids not to fucking, like... Judge anyone, judge the book by its cover, like just to like see what's inside of this person and like get to know them before you like put your opinions out there. And I think more kids need to see that shit, and I think more kids need to see Moana because be adventurous, do cool shit.
Theaters, like I think I saw it like 3 or 4 times in theaters because I'm one of those people.
Oh,
but
yeah.
it made me feel, it's like give me emotion. I'm like what?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Movies give me like emotion, make me feel emotion. I'm like, all right, it's one of my favorites. So.
I mean, that's like one of the most upsetting things that the pandemic will, probably do for a while is like keep people out of the theater, and that's like one of the most bummer things for me.
That doesn't bother me.
I mean, it doesn't affect me because I will put on my mask and go to the movies like every week still because I'm just like, no one's gonna be at the theater anyways. I might as well be at the theater. So.
Well, theaters aren't open in LA County, so.
Oh, so
yeah, y'all have it pretty locked down out there, yeah?
Yeah, I think Riverside County though has movies open. I think I've heard people going to Riverside from LA, which is like an hour. Like, all right, I guess you can go to outdoor theaters like drive-ins.
Oh, that's
which
tight.
is not
yeah. I mean, it's not the same, but it does the job for certain, especially in certain scenarios. I went to a drive-in. I recently moved to Austin, and I went to a drive-in theater there, and at like 11:30 watched the original Evil Dead, and it was like a drive-in theater in the middle of the woods. So I was like, dude, this is perfect. You know what I mean? So yeah.
I tried watching Tenet.
So intense.
2.5 hours long in the drive-in, and I didn't realize it was 2.5 hours long, and I went when I was like, oh yeah, I'll totally go, and I was like really tired.
Right.
I got there, so it was like literally like it was like 12:30 at night, and I'm like, oh my god, there's still another hour left.
Yeah, that's like the type of movie too that you like have to be involved the whole time. Like if you,
it's really exhausting because it's like it's like even like that movie Looper. Like it took me 3 times to watch it because every time I'd watch it, you know the scene where like Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Bruce Willis are in the cafe talking.
Yeah.
I used to doze out like just fall asleep. Like that part would put me to sleep. I'm like this again, god damn it! It's like 4 times I watch it. Finally, I'm like, all right, this movie's really good.
Oh, it's so sick.
Yeah. That part always kept me up though, because I would like look at Bruce Willis and
I always look at
Joseph Gordon-Levitt and be like, what did they do to their faces to make them look more alike? It's so weird.
Just blows your mind.
All right, let's do one more thing and then we'll kind of start wrapping it up. What movies or shows do you suggest people watch this Christmas?
What are you know what? Fuck that. What are your favorite Christmas movies? What are your favorite Christmas movies?
What are your favorite Christmas movies?
Elf.
Yes.
Elf's a good one.
Backed.
I don't know. Elf is like my go-to fucking Christmas movie. That's my go-to.
Right.
So,
I just bought Elf wrapping paper yesterday.
I like comedies. Like, I love comedies. I love romantic comedies. I love comedies. I love dark comedies. I love all of them.
I honestly want to. I know I'm just like going back on our question, but why aren't there more Christmas songs coming out that are new? We need like modern.
There's
Christmas
like 8
songs.
Christmas songs, and like 1,000 people sing them, and it just gets annoying.
Like I enjoy Mariah Carey when Christmas rolls around, but not for every song. It feels like that's like every other song. It's like all I want for Christmas, and then Jingle Bells, and then all I want for Christmas.
I I mean, I have the Mariah Carey Christmas CD that I play.
It slaps.
I'm old like that, and I love DVD. I have an entire collection of DVDs and CDs. Like, not like Jeremy Stafford does. But,
Oh.
You know, like, I have
Oh yeah, I've stayed
It's like literally 5,000 DVDs. I think he like sold. No, now they're like in his basement because now he's a new house, and his entire basement is like full of fucking like DVDs, like around the wall. It's crazy.
That dude is so amazing.
Dude,
love that guy.
I've stayed at his house and just like his DVD, Blu-ray, and full-size like movie props.
Oh my god, all the props, yes.
Like scare the shit out of me. Like I swear, I woke up on his couch. I was like, "Oh shit!"
Every Halloween, he buys more and more, and they get creepier. It's so great.
Anyways, shout out, Jeremy. How you been? What's up?
Jeremy Staffer in his book, Daughters of Darkness.
Yeah, check out Jessie Lee in that book. Also, shout out Franz. We need to get Franz on here.
Dude, if you go to Florida with us, dude, we should hit him up when we go down.
We should. With Jesse, you should hit him up and say, "Do Rickshaw's podcast, bitch."
I was actually going to go visit him in Orlando.
Nice. Yeah. I would love, honestly, anyone from band world. I'm just like, let's do it. You know what I mean? Let's have a conversation. Let's put it up and nerd out. You know what I mean? Because I'm not famous anymore. That's why. So I need all the help I can get. But
I'm trying.
I mean, you're great. Everyone, like, we're gonna do one with Tim Gorgon here in a little bit, and we're gonna talk about new metal.
He used to be Jeremy's roommate.
Oh, you know Tim.
Yeah. I know Tim.
Yeah.
I loved Tim so much.
Tattoo removal.
Oh yeah.
I loved him so. I'm so excited. I loved him so much. It's so stupid. I'm so happy about that.
When we started doing the podcast, Tim hit me up and he goes, "Hey bro, you're gonna have to put Fuzz on every video because he's the best person in the whole world." And I was like, "Okay."
I loved him so much.
But
I really suck. In all honesty, I suck terribly.
He
but
suck. Don't let him fool you.
But I
It's
love
a
that
tough
Tim
guy
loves
thing.
me. I'm not tough.
Yeah, you secretly think you're. He's like, I'm not sweet.
I'm a giant fucking teddy
Yeah,
bear.
and
Everybody
then
knows it.
And then he's like, you love Disney?
Disney Ninja Turtles. That's all you need in life.
All right, well, it's been fun. And, you know, if you want to holler out everything that you're into, and if you want people to check you out at certain websites or whatever you got going on, let them know right now.
Okay, so my Instagram is Jessie X Lee. My Twitter is OMG, it's Jessie Lee. My OnlyFans is onlyfans.com. OMG is Jessie Lee. My ManyVids is jessielee.manyvids.com. Sorry, I'm like promoting porn or whatever your thing.
It's totally fine.
Totally fine.
Yeah, so that's all the places to check me out.
All right.
I'm gonna go follow you on Twitter right after this. Once we close that MacBook, I'm gonna follow you on Twitter.
And if you don't remember any of that, Google Jessie Lee. You'll find it.
Yeah, she's dope. You were awesome. You were awesome. Thank you for coming on. Seriously, and putting up with our bullshit. That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you
I'll
so
let you know
much.
when I'm gonna post all this and whatever. Cool.
Alright. Cool.
All right. See you later, nerds.